Hey Emma, come here, girl. My sister Amanda's voice rang out across the crowded family gathering. I turned instinctively, then froze as a golden retriever bounded past me. The dog, her new pet, wore a pink collar with my name engraved on it. The room erupted in laughter. 30 pairs of eyes fixed on me, watching for my reaction. Amanda's lips curled into that familiar smirk she perfected since childhood. See, both respond to the name. Though honestly, the dog's more useful. More laughter. Even Mom chuckled, hiding her smile behind her wine glass. Dad was too busy with his phone to notice, or maybe he just didn't care. Only Grandpa, sitting in his wheelchair by the window, remained silent, his weathered face unreadable. I stood there, my hands clutching the expensive cake I brought, the one no one had bothered to thank me for. The same cake that cost half my weekly salary from the small bookstore where I worked. The job Amanda loved to mock as proof that some people peak in kindergarten. At least the dog knows tricks, my cousin Beth chimed in, always eager to join Amanda's performances. What's our Emma done lately? Just paid off Amanda's credit card debt, again. But I didn't say that. I never did. Come on, Emma, Amanda cooed, both to me and the dog. Sit. The dog sat. I didn't move. See, Amanda laughed. The dog's smarter too. I watched as she bent down to pet the retriever, her designer bracelet catching the light, the one I knew she'd bought with the money I'd sent for her emergency car repair. There never was a car repair. There never were any real emergencies. Just Amanda, her expectations, and my inability to say no. Emma, Grandpa's voice cut through the laughter, quiet but firm. Would you help me to the study? I need to show you something. Amanda's smile faltered slightly. She'd always been jealous of my relationship with Grandpa, the only person who seemed to see through her act. Oh, come on, Grandpa. We're just having fun. Emma knows I'm joking. Right, sis? I didn't answer. Instead, I set down the cake and walked to Grandpa's wheelchair. As I pushed him toward his study, I heard Amanda's voice behind me. See, can't even take a joke. Useless. The study was quiet, a refuge from the chaos of the family gathering. Books lined the walls, their leather spines telling stories of better days. Grandpa's desk, solid oak that had witnessed 3 generations of our family's history, stood like a sentinel against the back wall. Close the door, Grandpa said, his voice stronger now that we were alone. I did as he asked, then helped him from the wheelchair to his leather chair behind the desk. He moved slowly, but his eyes were as sharp as ever. Sit down, Emma. He gestured to the chair across from him. We need to talk about the future. I sat, trying to ignore the knot in my stomach. The future had never been kind to me, always bending to Amanda's will, her dreams, her demands. I'm dying, Grandpa said simply. The words hit me like a physical blow. No, you're not. The doctors said. He held up a hand, silencing me. The doctors say what I pay them to say, to keep your mother from worrying, to keep Amanda from circling like a vulture. But you deserve the truth. Tears burned in my eyes, but I blinked them back. Grandpa hated emotional displays. The business, he continued, everything I've built, it needs to go to someone who understands its value. Someone who won't strip it for parts and sell it to the highest bidder. Amanda's been working there for years, I said automatically. She knows the business. Grandpa's laugh was harsh. Amanda knows how to spend money, not how to make it. She sees the business as her personal ATM, nothing more. He pulled open a drawer and withdrew a thick envelope. This is my new will. Everything goes to you. I stared at him, certain I'd misheard. That's not, you can't. I can, and I have. His voice was firm. You've worked every job imaginable to support yourself, to help others, even when they didn't deserve it. You understand the value of work, of sacrifice. Amanda, he shook his head. Amanda understands only entitlement. She'll hate me, I whispered. She already does, Grandpa replied bluntly. The difference is, now you'll have the power to do something about it. Before I could respond, the door burst open. Amanda stood there, her perfect makeup unable to hide her fury. What's going on here? Some secret meeting? Private conversation, Grandpa corrected, sliding the envelope back into his drawer. About what? Amanda's eyes darted between us. The business? Is that what this is about? She laughed, but it sounded forced. Come on, Grandpa. Everyone knows I'm next in line. I've been working there since college. You've been present since college, Grandpa corrected. There's a difference. Amanda's face darkened. What's that supposed to mean? I'm the one who modernized our marketing, who brought in new clients. You're the one who expense accounted your way through the Bahamas last month, claiming it was a business retreat. Grandpa cut in. You're the one who hired your friends for positions they're not qualified for, at salaries we can't justify. That's business. Amanda protested. That's how things work now. Emma wouldn't understand. She works in a bookstore, for God's sake. Emma understands more than you think. Grandpa's voice was cold. Now, if you'll excuse us. No, Amanda stepped fully into the room. I won't excuse anything. I've worked too hard, sacrificed too much. What exactly have you sacrificed? I found myself asking. The words came out before I could stop them. Amanda turned to me, her eyes blazing. Excuse me? What have you sacrificed? I repeated, standing up. Years of silence, of swallowing my words, suddenly broke. The credit cards I paid off, the rent I covered, the emergencies that always seemed to coincide with new designer purchases. You, Amanda sputtered. You're bringing that up now, after I've given you a roof over your head. Given me? I laughed. I pay rent to Mom and Dad, more than you ever did. I pay bills. I buy groceries. What exactly have you given me, Amanda? Besides a dog with my name and a family that thinks I'm a joke. How dare you? She stepped toward me, finger pointed. After everything I've done for this family. Everything you've done to this family, Grandpa corrected. There's a difference there too. Amanda's face went through a series of emotions. Anger, fear, calculation. Finally, she settled on her usual weapon. Mockery. Oh, I see what this is, she sneered. Poor little Emma, always in my shadow, finally getting her revenge. What's next? Going to tell everyone how hard your life is? How mean big sister Amanda never appreciated you? No, I said quietly. I'm done telling anyone anything. I'm done explaining, justifying, apologizing. I'm just done. Done? Amanda laughed. Done with what? Your pathetic little existence. Your job at that sad little bookstore. Please, Emma. You need us. You need me. Without this family, what are you? Free, I answered. The word hung in the air between us. Amanda's laugh died in her throat. Get out, Grandpa said to Amanda, his voice leaving no room for argument. Now. This isn't over, Amanda hissed as she backed toward the door. You can't just. I can, Grandpa cut her off. I have. Close the door on your way out. After she left, slamming the door hard enough to rattle the books on their shelves, Grandpa turned to me. You'll need to be stronger than this, he said. What's coming will make today look like a picnic. What do you mean? He pulled the envelope back out, opened it, and spread several documents across the desk. I'm not just giving you the business, Emma. I'm giving you everything. The house, the vacation properties, the investments, everything. I stared at the papers, my head spinning. But why? Because you're the only one who might do some good with it. He picked up a pen and held it out to me. The question is, are you ready to stop being the victim in Amanda's story and start writing your own? I looked at the pen, thinking about all the years of silent suffering, of watching Amanda take and take while I gave and gave, about the dog wearing my name, the laughter still echoing from the other room, the future that had always seemed just out of reach. I took the pen. Grandpa nodded, satisfied. Sign here. He pointed to a line at the bottom of the main document. And here, and here. As I signed, I could hear Amanda's voice carrying from the main room, no doubt already spinning her version of events. Let her talk. For once, her words didn't matter. When? I asked as I finished the last signature. Soon, Grandpa replied. Very soon. The lawyers will contact you. He took the papers back, returning them to the envelope. Until then, say nothing. Let Amanda enjoy her performance. Let her name all the dogs she wants after you. It won't change what's coming. I helped him back into his wheelchair, my mind still reeling from everything that had happened. As I pushed him toward the door, he caught my hand. One more thing, he said. The dog. What about it? A smile crossed his weathered face. Make sure it keeps your name. It'll be a nice reminder for Amanda when everything else is gone. As we rejoined the party, Amanda was holding court, the dog, my namesake, sitting obediently at her feet. She shot me a triumphant look as we entered. "Oh, look who's back," she announced. "Both Emmas, the furry one and the fury one." More laughter from her audience. Though honestly, the dog's better dressed. I just smiled. Let her laugh. Let them all laugh. Tomorrow was coming sooner than they knew. The call came at exactly 9:47 a.m. the next day. I was arranging books at the store when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. "Is this Miss Emma Collins?" a formal voice asked. "Yes." "This is James Patterson from Patterson Associates Law Firm. I regret to inform you that your grandfather, Harold Collins, passed away in his sleep last night." The book I was holding slipped from my fingers, hitting the floor with a dull thud. Just yesterday, we'd been in his study. Just yesterday, he'd... "Miss Collins, are you there?" "Yes," I managed. "I'm here." "There's something else. As executor of your grandfather's estate, I need you to come to our office immediately. It's rather urgent." I glanced at my watch. "I'm at work." "Miss Collins," his voice softened slightly. "Trust me when I say this can't wait. Your grandfather left explicit instructions." An hour later, I sat in a plush leather chair in an office that probably cost more per month than I made in a year. Mr. Patterson, a distinguished man in his 60s, sat across from me, reading through documents I'd just signed. "Everything appears to be in order," he said, looking up. "As per your grandfather's final wishes, effective immediately, you are now the sole owner of Collins Enterprises and all associated properties and assets." My phone had been buzzing nonstop for the last 20 minutes. I knew without looking that it was Amanda, probably just discovering the news. "What about the current management?" I asked, thinking of Amanda's position as marketing director. "All employees serve at the discretion of the owner," Patterson replied carefully, "meaning you have full authority to make any personnel changes you see fit." The phone buzzed again. This time, I glanced at it. "Amanda, where are you? Answer your phone." "Amanda, this is impossible." "Amanda, you can't do this to me." "There's one more thing," Patterson said, pulling out another envelope. "Your grandfather left this for you. His instructions were to give it to you only after everything was signed." I opened it with trembling hands. Inside was a single sheet of paper covered in Grandpa's distinctive handwriting. "Dear Emma, if you're reading this, I'm gone. Don't waste time mourning. We both knew this was coming. Instead, remember what I told you about being strong. Amanda will try everything to undermine you. She'll cry, threaten, manipulate. She'll turn the family against you. Let her. You've spent your life being the good sister, the reliable one, the backup plan. That ends now. The company needs someone who understands value, not just price. Someone who knows the difference between earning and taking. In my desk at home, bottom right drawer, there's a red folder. Everything you need to know about Amanda's creative accounting is in there. Use it if you have to. Make me proud. Love, Grandpa." As if on cue, the office door burst open. Amanda stood there, mascara running, hair disheveled. A far cry from her usual perfect appearance. "You," she pointed at me, her voice shaking. "What did you do?" Patterson stood up. "Miss Collins, this is a private." "She's my sister," Amanda shrieked. "This is family business." "Exactly," I said quietly, standing. "Family business, my business now." Amanda's face contorted. "You can't. This isn't. I've worked there for years. I've built relationships, made connections, and spent company money like it was your personal account." I finished. "How much was that dog collar? The one with my name. Did you expense that too?" "You bitter little." She stepped toward me, but Patterson moved between us. "Miss Collins," he addressed Amanda, "if you don't leave immediately, I'll be forced to call security." Amanda's eyes darted between us, realization slowly dawning. "You planned this," she whispered. "You and Grandpa. All this time—" "No," I corrected her. "All this time you've been digging your own grave. I just inherited the shovel." "Mom and Dad won't stand for this," she threatened. "The family won't." "The family?" I laughed. "The same family that laughed when you named your dog after me. The same family that watched me work 3 jobs while you took vacations. That family." "I'll fight this," she declared. "I'll get lawyers." "With what money?" I asked quietly. "Your credit cards are maxed out. Your savings account is empty. I know because I'm the one who keeps bailing you out. But that stops today. The color drained from her face. You wouldn't. Watch me. I turned to Patterson. Mr. Patterson, please send termination papers to Amanda's office. Effective immediately. You can't fire me, she screamed. I'm your sister. No, I replied, gathering my things. You're just someone who named their dog after me. And now you're someone who needs to find a new job. As security arrived to escort her out, Amanda's screams echoed down the hallway. You'll regret this. You're nothing without family. Nothing. I watched her go, feeling strangely calm. My phone buzzed again. Mom this time. Mom, what have you done? Amanda's hysterical. How could you do this to your own sister? I turned off the phone. Your grandfather warned this might happen, Patterson said, straightening his tie. He left instructions for that too. He handed me another envelope. The keys to his private apartment downtown. He suggested you might need a safe place to stay while things settle. I took the keys, thinking of the red folder Grandpa mentioned. Mr. Patterson, about Amanda's financial activities at the company. He nodded gravely. We have a team ready to audit everything. Just say the word. I thought about Amanda's smirk yesterday, about years of mockery and manipulation, about a dog wearing my name like a final insult. Do it, I said. Audit everything. As I left the office, I caught my reflection in the glass door. I looked different somehow, stronger maybe, or just finally awake. The dog might have my name, but Amanda was about to learn that names aren't the only thing that can bite back. The audit results landed on my desk exactly 1 week after Grandpa's funeral, a funeral Amanda didn't attend, claiming she was too devastated to face the family. In reality, she was probably too busy trying to access her now frozen company accounts. The red folder from Grandpa's desk sat next to the audit report, its contents even more damning than I'd imagined. Amanda hadn't just been stealing. She'd been systematically looting the company for years. Fake vendors, double-billed expenses, phantom employees on payroll. The numbers were staggering, nearly $850,000 in questionable transactions over the past 3 years alone. My phone rang. Mom, again. I've lost count of how many times she called this week. This time I answered. How could you do this to her? No hello, no how are you. Just straight to Amanda's defense as usual. Do what, Mom? Fire someone who was stealing from the company? Protect the business Grandpa built? She's your sister. Mom's voice cracked. She's living on our couch, Emma. Her credit cards aren't working. The bank is asking questions about her accounts. I opened the audit report. Has she told you about the fake consulting firm she set up? The one that billed the company $12,000 a month for services never rendered? Or maybe about the 3 employees on payroll who don't actually exist? Silence. No. I continued. What about the company car she sold last year, pocketing the money while still claiming the lease payments as a business expense? She said you're making things up, Mom whispered. That you're trying to ruin her life because you're jealous. I laughed, but there was no humor in it. Jealous? Of what? Her ability to commit fraud? Her talent for manipulation? She's family, Mom repeated, weaker this time. No, Mom. She's a criminal, and if she doesn't return every penny she stole, she'll be facing charges too. The line went quiet for so long, I thought she'd hung up. Your father and I can't choose sides, she finally said. You already did, I replied. Years ago. You just chose wrong. I hung up and pressed the intercom button. Sarah, please call the forensic accounting team and get me Detective Marshall on the line. My new assistant, hired to replace Amanda's unqualified friend, responded immediately. Right away, Ms. Collins. I stared at the family photo on my desk, taken last Christmas. Amanda in the center, as always, beaming her perfect smile. Me on the edge, barely in frame. I turned the picture face down. A knock on my door interrupted my thoughts. Come in. Linda from HR entered, carrying more files. Ms. Collins, we've finished reviewing the personnel records you requested. Well, you should see for yourself. I spent the next hour discovering just how deep Amanda's corruption went. Every friend she'd hired was underqualified and overpaid. Every project she'd managed was over budget. Every decision she'd made seemed designed to benefit herself at the company's expense. My cell phone buzzed with a text. Amanda, we need to talk. Please, I can explain everything. I typed back. The numbers explained themselves. Amanda, it's not what you think. I was going to pay it back. Please don't do this. Another text came through before I could respond. Amanda, remember when we were kids? How I always looked out for you, protected you? I actually laughed out loud at that one. Protected me? By taking every opportunity to humiliate me? By treating me like her personal bank? Me, like how you protected me yesterday? Naming your dog after me for laughs? Amanda, that was a joke. Come on, Emma. Family is more important than money. I looked at the audit report again, then at Grandpa's red folder. Me, you're right. Family is more important than money. That's why I'm giving you a choice. Amanda, what choice? Me, return everything you stole, all of it, and I won't press charges. You'll never work here again, but at least you won't be writing to me from prison. The typing indicator appeared and disappeared several times before her response came through. Amanda, you wouldn't dare. Mom and Dad would never forgive you. I picked up my desk phone and dialed Detective Marshall's number. Me. Try me. Amanda. Wait. Please. I don't have the money. I spend it. Of course she did. On designer clothes, luxury vacations, and that stupid dog with my name. Me, you have 24 hours to figure it out. After that, I'm turning everything over to the police. Amanda, you're destroying this family. I thought about years of mockery, of being treated like a walking ATM, of watching Amanda take and take while I gave and gave. Me? No, Amanda. You did that all by yourself. I blocked her number and turned to the window, looking out over the city. From up here, everything looked small, manageable. Even my problems with Amanda seemed distant. Sarah's voice came through the intercom. Miss Collins, your 2 o'clock is here, and your sister's dog walker just called. Apparently, Amanda told her to bring the dog here. I smiled. Send them both up. Minutes later, a confused dog walker stood in my office, holding Emma the dog's leash. Amanda said you'd be taking care of the dog now, she explained. Something about not being able to afford the care anymore. I knelt down, looking at the golden retriever wearing my name. She wagged her tail, blissfully unaware of the drama surrounding her. Hello, Emma, I said softly. The dog's tail wagged harder. I stood up and reached for my checkbook. How much does Amanda owe you? The dog walker shifted uncomfortably. 3 months, about $900. I wrote her a check for $1,000. Thank you for your services. I'll be taking over from here. After she left, I sat on the floor next to the dog. Well, Emma, looks like we're both free from Amanda now. The dog laid her head in my lap, and I scratched behind her ears. Don't worry, I won't change your name. Grandpa was right. You'll be the perfect reminder of everything Amanda lost. My phone buzzed with another text, this time from Dad. Your mother is crying. Is this what you wanted? I looked at the dog, at the audit reports, at Grandpa's folder, and finally at my reflection in the window. The woman staring back wasn't a victim anymore. No, Dad, I whispered, though he couldn't hear me. This is what Amanda wanted. She just didn't expect to get it. 1 year later, I sat in Grandpa's old office, my office now, looking at the framed newspaper article on the wall. The headline read, Collins Enterprises reports record growth under new leadership. Below was a picture of me and Emma the dog, both of us looking professional and poised. The company hadn't just survived the transition, it had thrived. Turns out, removing Amanda's bloated expenses and questionable contracts had an immediate positive impact on our bottom line. A knock at my door interrupted my thoughts. Come in. Mom stood there, looking older and more hesitant than I remembered. It was the first time I'd seen her in person since Amanda's eventual arrest 6 months ago. When the 24-hour deadline passed and she couldn't repay the money, I kept my word and pressed charges. Emma, she said softly, you look, well. Emma the dog, lying in her bed by my desk, thumped her tail but didn't move. She'd become quite the office mascot, beloved by everyone except the ghost of her former owner. What do you need, Mom? I kept my voice neutral. After everything, she'd chosen Amanda's side until the evidence became too overwhelming to ignore. She stepped into the office, clutching her purse like a shield. Amanda's sentencing is next week. She asked if you'd speak on her behalf. For leniency. I laughed, but there was no bitterness in it anymore. just amazement at my sister's continued audacity. Let me guess, she's sorry. She's learned her lesson. She misses her family. Mom's eyes dropped to the floor. She's different now. Prison changed her. Prison didn't change her, Mom. Getting caught changed her. I stood up, walking to the window. The answer is no. She's still your sister. I turned back to her. Is she? Because from where I stand, she was never really my sister. She was my bully, my burden, and eventually my embezzler. But sister? No. Mom sank into one of the visitor chairs, looking defeated. Your father and I, we failed you both. We let Amanda become what she is, and we let you suffer for it. It was the closest thing to an apology I ever heard from her. You know what the funny thing is? I said, sitting back down. That dog was supposed to be her final insult to me, one last way to make me feel worthless, but look how that turned out. Emma's ears perked up at my gesture toward her. The golden retriever was now the star of our company's social media, the face of our charitable foundation, and living proof that sometimes the best revenge is simply succeeding. The company's doing well, Mom ventured, clearly trying to change the subject. Very well. Turns out, when you don't have someone bleeding it dry from the inside, a business can actually grow. She flinched at that. And you? Are you happy? I considered the question. The past year had been transformative. Without Amanda's constant drainage of my energy and resources, I flourished. The company had doubled its profits. I'd started a foundation helping victims of financial abuse. I even started dating someone. A kind, honest man who looked at me like I was the sun. I'm at peace, I answered finally, and that's worth more than happiness. Mom stood slowly, understanding that our conversation was ending. If you change your mind about the sentencing, I won't. My voice was firm but not unkind. Amanda made her choices. Now she can live with them, just like I had to live with being her punching bag all those years. She nodded, turning to leave. At the door, she paused. That day, with the dog, I laughed too. I'm sorry for that. I know, I said quietly, but sometimes sorry isn't enough. After she left, I sat in silence, absently petting Emma, who had wandered over to rest her head on my lap. The dog's collar still had my name on it, but now it was a symbol of triumph rather than mockery. My phone buzzed. A text from Dad. Your mother's crying again. I typed back. She'll survive. Amanda taught us all about survival, didn't she? Then I turned off my phone, stood up, and grabbed Emma's leash. Come on, girl. Let's go home. As we walked through the office, employees smiled and waved. They loved the story of how I got the dog. It had become something of a company legend. The useless sister who proved everyone wrong, accompanied by the dog meant to mock her. Outside, the evening sun painted the city gold. Emma trotted happily beside me, her namesake tag catching the light. Somewhere across town, Amanda sat in a cell, probably still plotting, still believing she was the victim in all this. And maybe in her mind she was. But I had Grandpa's company, his legacy, and even the dog she'd meant as an insult. I had peace, success, and most importantly, freedom from the weight of being Amanda's personal ATM and emotional punching bag. The dog looked up at me, tail wagging, complete love and trust in her eyes. I smiled back, remembering Grandpa's words. Make sure it keeps your name. It'll be a nice reminder for Amanda when everything else is gone. He was right, as usual. The dog kept my name, and I kept everything else. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just success. It's succeeding with the very things meant to break you. Emma and I walked home in the golden light, both of us free, both of us exactly where we were meant to be. And somewhere, I like to think, Grandpa was smiling.